Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Money Mondays. My name is Paul Johnson. I am the Director of Economic and Community Development here at GPCOG.
And I am Belinda Ray, the Director of Strategic Partnerships here at GPCOG.
And thank you for joining us. Today, we have Belinda. I saw you have a lot of topics on there. I don't know if they're
They're not all long. A lot of them are like this and this and this. They'll be quick.
all right. Well, I'm going
I
to start
am
mine. And when I
okay.
disappear off camera for a little bit, it's just because my dog is outside barking at me. Okay.
Can't hear him.
Today, I am going over the main land bank authority lightning grants. So specifically, the main redevelopment land bank authority. So it's a long name. If you haven't heard of them, they've been around for about 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, I think. But they've really just started in the last year. They've really started staffing up. So it was, I believe it was created at the state level about 2 or 3 years ago. I might have that a little bit wrong, but the organization as a whole is now staffed up and has been quite active. So essentially, it's a statewide land bank. If you haven't heard of them, what a land bank does is it acquires, it manages, and it revitalizes abandoned, contaminated, and obsolete properties. We're talking about some pretty rough properties here, right? So it's not necessarily just like one eyesore or a property that might have, one small thing wrong with it. They usually come in as when a municipality and maybe the owner of the property doesn't know what to do next and things are looking bleak. A land bank will usually come in and be very involved. Currently, a lot of their actions are up outside of Cumberland County with all the mill properties, but just had a meeting with them last week, and they're looking to do more things in Cumberland County. And with that, something small, not small, but something easy to understand that they are doing. They have what they are calling lightning stabilization grants, and I believe these are up to $25,000. And these grants aren't really something to do comprehensive work in. It's like, hey, if we don't get 25 grand into this property before winter, the roof's going to fall apart, right? So these grants they're almost like a quick band-aid on a building or a property to help you get to that next phase or to buy you those extra 3 or 4 months if it's been sitting for a while and other priorities have gotten in the way, and all of a sudden you get hit with this property that say, oh shoot, we need to do something with it, we need to do something with it quick. That's what these lightning grants are for. It gives you a little stopgap as you start a more involved process. As always, that's a link to the main redevelopment land bank. I encourage you to check it out if you haven't read up on them. It's a great team. I've done work with most of them on their staff, and I encourage you to check them out.
Awesome. Oh, sorry. That must be from last. Oh, that's just the housing. That's just another reminder about the infrastructure summit.
Yeah,
Right. Keep it in
but
the slides. Okay.
but more accurately, it's totally just left over from last week. I forgot to delete it. Yeah, but hey,
No, it's
come to our infrastructure summit.
intentionally in there as a reminder. All right. So I do have several opportunities, but they're all brief, really. So this is the biggest one. Housing Opportunity Program. I'm sure you've heard about this before. We currently have a Housing Opportunity Program grant. Paul is heading that up, working on projects with many municipalities. This one is still not that kind of portal. Sorry. Remember this image from last week? Yeah. So you are going to need to be registered in that vendor self-service portal to apply for this, for the grant that's involved here. So if you didn't do it, watch last week's Money Mondays and get registered. And this wizard is happy because this portal is a portal. So Housing Opportunity Program. Oh, should explain that. That's a live link. Sorry, it makes no sense to anyone but me. So that portal, you click on it, it will take you where you need to go to sign up for that. Okay, so this funding opportunity, these are directly for municipalities, and it is to help them get up to speed with the legislation that's been passed recently. There are 4 bills in particular: 1829, 997, 427, and 1184. And I've written there what each of these has been primarily focused on helping to create housing by doing these things. There are going to be 3 rounds of this funding. quite quickly this year, and you can only get funding in one of them. And the first one has the highest amount. The second ones are a little lower, but easier to get. You have to have your state issued vendor number in order to get this funding. So if you do not have that, reach out to the Maine Office of Community Affairs and make sure you're all set up there. So round one is going to open in early January. We are in early January, so this could be any time now. And for this one, this is a grant application. That's what you'll need to be in vendor self-service for. You can apply for up to $15,000 to help you amend your land use ordinances to comply with those first three bills that I mentioned, the 997, 427, 1829. Here's a key. If you apply for 15,000 and you wind up not needing it all, you can use the remaining funds for education and planning activities about housing in your community. So if you think you want to do that too, I would say apply for the full 15,000, and then you can use it to get these other things done. And you can always hire you can hire someone like GPCOG to come in and help you with any of this as well. You can use the funding that way, or you can use it to fund your staff to do this kind of stuff. So in this round, the priority is going to be to municipalities that have a town council, city council form of government. Town meeting towns can still apply, but the money is prioritized for the council form of government. They think that awards will be given in March, and you'd need to start doing the amendments on or after April 1st. You have 1 year to complete it. Okay, so that should be released anytime now. That one's coming. It is a grant, as I said. The next ones are not grants. So round two, they believe will open in March. So after the first one is awarded, they open the second one. And for this one, you can receive a one-time payment of up to $10,000, same purpose, amending your ordinances to comply with those three bills. This one is not a competitive grant. This one, you're just going to fill out a form and send it in like an invoice, and then you'll get your funding in order to do this work. The money's only available until it runs out. So if you want to do this one, get in early as soon as it opens. Make sure you're able to grab that 10,000 in that round. And then round three, same deal. Again, a one-time payment of 10,000, those three bills. And for this one, you can make your request between July and September. The previous one was between March and May, right? Again, on a rolling basis until funds are expended. So for each of these rounds, 2 and 3, you want to get in early to make sure you get the funding because it could run out. Now, there is also another funding mechanism coming here, reimbursements for work to do the reporting required with LD 1184. 1184 requires municipalities with 4,000 residents or more to report certain elements of housing data annually, and it allocates funds to reimburse you for the cost of preparing that annual report, that first annual report, which is going to be on your 2025 data. So GPCOG is actually leading the data collection here, working with our municipalities, but we're also working with the 9 other regional councils to make sure everyone is able to collect this data. We're assisting our towns, we're helping other councils assist their towns to make sure everyone has the tools they need. And if you're not in the GPCOG region, you should contact your regional council to see how they are handling it and how you can get this done. Towns can get reimbursed for 90% of the expenses incurred to collect and report the data. So you'd want to keep track of staff time doing this, and then you'll be able to submit an invoice basically and get reimbursed for that funding. The funding can be requested between January and May. So they're kind of expecting you to get started on this. The data is going to be available. It should be available now. It's kind of a quick turnaround, but that's why you have your regional council to help you out. And GPCOG is on top of this. Those are all the regional councils. Like I said, you should contact yours if you are not in our region. And if you have questions, you can reach out to housing.moca@maine.gov. Okay, these are just kind of quick reminders. So it looked like I had so many huge funding opportunities, but this one is a reminder, WIFIA, which is the Water Infrastructure Finance and Innovation Act. Remember that they offer long-term, low-cost federal loans to help finance your water and wastewater infrastructure projects. They have upcoming office hours, definitely worth going in and seeing how these folks can help you. I've been to a webinar or two, and these people know what they're doing, and they will walk you through the process. If they think you have a eligible project, they'll help you get going. America's field trip. I put Lisa Simpson on here because I remember the episode where she wrote her essay about America. And it didn't go that well, in case you want to catch that. But this is open to students in grade 3 through 12. I thought folks might want to make sure that their schools are aware within their municipalities, because there are some good prizes here. It's one of those typical essay or art contests. What does America mean to you? And it's in celebration of America's 250th, the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. 125 first place awardees will receive a trip to a select historical or cultural site. So that's pretty fun. And second place could win a $500 cash award. So yeah, good deal. 125 makes me think they're going to give away 2 in each state, at least. So I would assume we'll have a couple from Maine. And then finally, if you have farmers, people with farmland where they are growing crops in your municipality, you're going to want to make them aware of this Drought Relief Fund grant that is to offer 90% of cost sharing for installation of drilled wells and water storage ponds, but funding is limited to water sources that are for cropland. So that's another one to let folks in your community know about if you know that you have some of these parcels, some of these folks that might be looking for assistance. Finally, no Money Mondays next week because it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And that is that for us today. Stop the sharing. Stop the sharing. Okay. I'm all set. No sharing. No sharing.
We got that. We got through that pretty quick for the long list, so that was good.
Yeah, they were brief, but they were timely. You know, they were all things you needed to know about this week.
Well, they always are here at Money Mondays.
That's true.
It's the only things we bring to you. So
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. It is always. Yep. We're pretty
well,
good.
thank you everybody for joining us, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Because if it's money
or Monday. Yeah. Which one do you?
It's money.
Never remember.
And you know, I always say it backwards, so I just kept it. Then you correct me, and that's how we sign off.
Oh, so you say if it's okay, go ahead.
Yes, right. So if it's money, then it's Mondays.
And if it's Mondays, then it's money.
Thank you, everybody.